10 most haunted houses on Earth. Hello and welcome back to another video. Ever wandered around in a haunted house before? If not, today's video is going to give you the creeps as we take a look at some of the most haunted houses around the world. Stay tuned. The Dakota. The Dakota, located at 22nd Street and Central Park West, is a home to some of the most sought-after real estate in Manhattan. It was built in the 1880s, and its owner, Edward Clark, who was the founder of the Singer Sewing Machine Company, died at the age of 70, 2 years before the building was complete. Overlooking Central Park, the Dakota is famous for both its Gothic architecture and haunted history. The exterior was used for scenes in Roman Polanski's 1968 film, Rosemary's Baby. Also in the 1960s, when renovations took place, workers claimed they saw the ghost of a blonde-haired girl in the hallways. Tragically, on December 8, 1980, Beatles singer John Lennon was shot and killed by Mark David Chapman outside the Dakota. His wife still lives there and revealed that he had witnessed a crying lady ghost stalking the halls in the night. The House of Death. In Greenwich Village, 14 West 10th Street was home to author Mark Twain from 1900 to 1901, and his ghost is believed to be one of the 22 spirits that haunt the building, all of whom either lived or died at the residence. One former resident saw the ghost of a man with white hair, wild-like, sitting in a chair looking out the window, and when she asked him what he was doing there, he replied, "My name is Clemens, and I got problems here I gotta settle." Also, an actress named Jan Bryant Bartell complained of hearing noises, as well as experiencing visions and feelings of dread at number 16 West next door. She then moved to number 14 West, but the sensations continued, and she believed it was the ghost of Mark Twain. The Campbell Apartment. A cocktail bar called the Campbell Apartment in Grand Central Terminal was once the office of financier John W. Campbell. Following his death in 1957, it became a small jail before it was sold once again. Since the location's restoration, the historic architecture has been mixed with contemporary design elements and offers a cozy place to enjoy a drink close by the busy main terminal. However, the history of paranormal activity here also attracts many ghost hunters. In 2010, owner Mark Grossich said, "Over the last several years, employees have had instances where they felt someone pushing them from behind when they were walking across the floor, and there was no one there." The Conference House. The Conference House on Staten Island was declared a National Historic Landmark in 1966. On September 11, 1776, Lord William Howe, Benjamin Franklin, Edward Rutledge, and John Adams all met here at a failed meeting over a peace treaty during the Revolutionary War. In 1976, Christopher Billop, an English Royal Navy officer, acquired the land and built the Bentley Manor, which has since had its name changed to the Conference House. It is believed that Billop killed the maid of the manor by stabbing her on the staircase and then throwing her body down the stairs. His motive was that he discovered she was signaling to the enemy, and it said that her ghost still haunts the building. The Lefers Laidlaw House. If the thought of hearing knocking on your door in the middle of the night only to answer and see nobody is there frightens you, then the Lefers Laidlaw House at 136 Clinton Avenue near the Brooklyn Navy Yard is one residence to avoid. In December 1878, then owner Edward F. Smith heard knocking at his door and loud rattling of his windows, which continued through the night until he eventually called the police. As the police surrounded the building outside, a brick was thrown through the dining room window despite numerous police officers being at the property. After a search of the surrounding grounds, there was nobody else to be seen. Many psychics have tried to understand what evil spirit haunts this place, and they hold semi-seances on the sidewalk outside the house. 85 West 3rd Street. Edgar Allan Poe, known for his haunting Gothic stories including The Black Cat and The Raven, lived at this address from 1844 to 1845. And according to those who have resided there recently say, he hasn't moved on. The building was demolished by New York University and rebuilt as Furman Hall. Yet some of the original features remain intact, such as the facade facing the front street and an original banister. Students living in the hall claim to have seen a mysterious ghost-like figure that stands near the banister and resembles the late Poe. In 1849, Poe died mysteriously at the age of 40 years old. He was found acting delirious in Baltimore, Maryland, and there has been much speculation surrounding his actual cause of death, with theories including alcohol poisoning, suicide, cholera, and even murder. The Whaley House. The Whaley House in California was once owned by Thomas Whaley, This house is regarded as the most haunted house in the USA. DeTracy Regula relates her experiences with the Whaley House. Over the years, while dining across the street at the Old Town Mexican Cafe, I became accustomed to noticing that the shutters of the second-story window of the Whaley House would sometimes open while we ate dinner, long after the house was closed for the day. On a recent visit, I could feel the energy in several spots in the house, particularly in the courtroom, where I also smelled the faint scent of a cigar, supposedly Whaley's calling card. Raynham Hall. Raynham Hall is a country house in Norfolk, England. For 300 years, it has been the seat of the Townsend family. The hall gets its name from the area, known as East Raynham, and is reported to be haunted, providing the scene for possibly the most famous ghost photo of all time, the famous brown lady descending the staircase. However, the ghost has not been reported since the photo was taken. His most famous resident was Charles Townshend, 2nd Viscount Townshend from 1674 to 1738, leader in the House of Lords. Tower of London. Her Majesty's Royal Palace and Fortress, the Tower of London, more commonly known as the Tower of London, is a historic monument in central London, England, on the north bank of the River Thames. Perhaps the most well-known ghostly resident of the tower is the spirit of Anne Boleyn, one of the wives of Henry VIII, who was also beheaded in the tower in 1536. Her ghost has been spotted on many occasions, sometimes carrying her head on Tower Green and in the Tower Chapel Royal. The White House. You wouldn't believe the White House could make the list, do you? Well, the home of the presidents of the United States, President Harrison is said to be heard rummaging around in the attic of the White House, looking for who knows what. President Andrew Jackson is also thought to haunt his White House bedroom, and the ghost of First Lady Abigail Adams was seen floating through one of the White House hallways, as if carrying something. The most frequently cited presidential ghost has been that of Abraham Lincoln. Eleanor Roosevelt once stated she believed she felt the presence of Lincoln watching her as she worked in the Lincoln bedroom. Also, during the Roosevelt administration, a young clerk claimed to have actually seen the ghost of Lincoln sitting on a bed, pulling off his boots. 57 West 57th Street. There have been many cases of haunted houses in New York, but at 57 West 57th Street, it's a haunted penthouse that sends shivers down the spines of those who visit there. According to local legend, those who took up residence in the penthouse would soon go insane and even turn to murder. Edna Crawford Champion was the wife of an inventor until her French lover, Charles Brazel, beat him to death. After she lied to the police and led them to believe that her husband had suffered a heart attack, she bought the penthouse as a love nest. Alsops ended up in a mental asylum and gave up on the apartment completely. It's likely that the apartment's current residents have also heard or have been warned of the penthouse past. Thanks for watching.